Hi, welcome back. So this is the module where we talk about sensing energy through the body and what certain imbalances might feel like to you. Um, Over the years, I've learned that certain energetic imbalances begin to feel a certain way to me. Now, again, these imbalances may show up differently for you, but this is just kind of a guideline of how to sense how to sense energy in the body and what imbalances may feel like. Okay. Um, when you practice Reiki on someone, it's always important to have a discussion with them first. And it doesn't have to be a big 45-minute discussion. It can just simply be 5 to 10 minutes of getting to know their intentions and what they're wanting to address in the session. For me, as a professional practitioner, I do spend a good 30 to 45 minutes with my client before we get on the table. And that's just really due to how I work and my process and the premise of my work with people, which is really to help them shift old, tired patterns and using Reiki as a modality to help them really release those patterns. It's amazing what information that you can tune into when you're in discussion with somebody, even for a brief amount of time. And it can be in person or it could be over the phone. Of course, we're doing Zoom calls now. But really paying attention to their body language and also what they're sharing with you. So if I have a client who comes in and says, gosh, my back has just been really achy lately, and one of the things that I investigate is, well, how long has your back been feeling achy? What was going on at the time? And usually in that discussion, you may begin to dial it back to an original root cause. We'll talk about that a little bit later. But when you finally get somebody on the table, it's going to be really a nice thing to do to scan their body. And so let's go ahead and do that. Show you how. Okay, so this is my lovely model. And this is the face cradle of the table. So their faces, I usually start with somebody lying face down. And one of the first things that I do is I like to just kind of find their sacrum. So I think their sacrum would be right around here. And I have them just breathe 3 times, 3 deep breaths into their sacrum. Now, why do I do this? Because what I'm doing is I'm looking at the mobility of their sacrum. Usually when someone is breathing deep into their sacrum, the sacrum is lifting up and it's going back down. So I'm looking to see if they can even bring breath into the lower half of their body. That's going to tell me how healthy or imbalanced their root chakra, their second chakra may be. And so I'm just looking for mobility and what is going on here at the root chakra and the second chakra before we begin. So I have them just bring breath into their low back. And I'm also just tuning in, right? So just, I'm also just closing my eyes and tuning in as well. And so you may be able to pick up a lot of different things. When energy is moving freely in the body, it's almost like you're putting your hand in just a calm pool of water. There really doesn't feel like any sticky points or any sensations other than just a really clean, clear field. But that's pretty rare because pretty much all of us are holding sticky points of energy in our bodies somewhere. And what that might feel like to you, when I feel a real energetic block, it's almost like if you are putting your hand over a clean, clear pool of water, and all of a sudden you cross over a stone, right? And all of a sudden you just feel the density of that stone. Well, that's kind of what it feels like when you are moving your hands over the body and you feel an energetic block. It feels like just kind of a dense stone in the body. So it's just an opportunity, when you're practicing, to scan the back side of the body first. And you can do that hands hovering, or you can do it just hands slightly rocking up the spine. So here is their spine. And I'm never placing pressure right directly on the spine. I'm just kind of cupping my hands over their spine and rocking upwards. In this exercise, I might be feeling sensations such as blocks in their body. I might be feeling emotions. I might be feeling sensations of hot or cold. I might be seeing colors. So again, you can tell that however intuitive information comes to you, whether it's your mind's eye, a download, a knowing, or a feeling, that is how you're going to pick up imbalances and understand that there's an imbalance in the body. So these are all different ways. So, you can kind of start along their spine and just scan down and just tune into what you're feeling. And then you can just ask them to gently turn over. So we're going to turn our lovely model over here. And so by now their head is here fully on the table. And say, for instance, I feel a block in their low belly. So here is their forehead, crown of the head. So when you turn them over, you can just invite them to close their eyes, and you can just gently scan, hands hovering, coming down through the body. And then you may feel this density of a stone perhaps hanging out at the second chakra, right? So if I have somebody, for instance, who in our discussion has said, gosh, I've been feeling a really achy back lately, and they've been feeling a lot of anxiety, perhaps about some life circumstance, and then we turn them over, right? So if you look at the sacrum here, if you were to wrap that around, it comes here at the low belly, and that's right where this is. So you may even begin to notice, oh, wow, there is an absence of energy, or a dull energy, or a dense energy right here at the belly, right? And so it's just a reminder for you to, okay, that's where I want to come back to. Now, remembering that when you're scanning the body, you're never hands hovering directly over the pelvis or directly over the throat. Those are really vulnerable areas. So when you come down to the belly, your hands can split and come down to the hips with working with another person, coming all the way down to the knees and down to the feet. So scanning the body, tuning into what you might be feeling. Again, you could be feeling hot and cold sensations. You could be feeling sensations in your own body. So if you are working with somebody and you pick up a headache, really paying attention to, oh, okay, that might mean that there is something going on in the back of the head or the forehead. If all of a sudden you come and there's a really hot pocket of energy where you're feeling flushed with heat, these are all indications that there are these imbalances in their body. In a moment, we'll talk about how to set healthy boundaries for yourself and tuning into what is actually yours and what's theirs. But this is just a nice exercise to do, scanning the body, tuning into how you sense energy, and what different imbalances may feel like to you.